Welcome back. So, what I'm doing today, got kind of a slow day. I'm sorry, I'm talking kind of loud. I hope you guys can hear me because I am not shutting that heater off, boy. It is a bit chilly out here. So, what I've got going today, we're working back on the blue truck and things that need to be done so we can progress from where we left off. A little recap, if you haven't watched the other videos, this is currently still just sitting in here. We got to get some motor mounts fabbed up. That is a high priority to obviously move forward. As you can see, lots of parts have arrived. This right here made me feel a lot better about the oil because that thing right there holds 2 quarts with the oil pan holding 8 quarts, what that motor calls for. So that problem is resolved. Makes me feel a lot better. The new exhaust manifold has shown up. This is a front mount discharge. So it will, I gotta show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm sure y'all know what I'm talking about, but so this one obviously center. This one is at the front. It's gonna go just like that.
That car was perfect.
So I'm waiting on gaskets to obviously get this installed. So I can't currently install that today, but it's there ready to go. I'm supposedly got a valve cover coming. The reason I say supposedly is because I ordered that and an intake from a recommended shop. I'm not going to say anything yet because I haven't got it and I never got a shipping deal, so I don't know. I may have gotten robbed.
Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
I'm kind of worried. It's been like 2 weeks, but anyway, the oil pan gasket right here has showed up, and then circling back to where I'm at right now, I got to get this starter gear swapped with this one. Now, if you recall, I think it was like 2 videos ago, this starter came on the motor. However, this output shaft is the OD of this and the ID of this did not link up. They did not like each other. So Greg from Overland Diesel, right there, Greg suggested me buy this one. So I found, or he sent me a link. So huge shout out again. Greg from Overland, man, just makes things a lot easier because when he recommends parts, he sends you links, man. The guy does a lot of legwork, just buying the stuff and making sure you get the right stuff way easier. So shout out to you, Greg at Overland Diesel. Back to this, I ordered this, got it off eBay, so it obviously looks quite different if you compare the two. We've got our paperwork that came from Greg when we ordered the kit, and obviously that gear, so that's what I'm gonna try to tackle now. So enough talking.
It's about damn time.
Let's dive in and see how bad we can mess this up. After several freaking frustrations, we had to resort. Shout out to my wife. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
This is definitely a 2-person thing. Y'all saw me struggle. Y'all saw how much of a pain in the butt that was. But one thing is when you have, like, obviously good instructions, but I can use this diagram. This end, if you put a socket right there on the back side of that, this is that whole housing I was messing with, the deal I was messing with outside of the housing. So if you set a socket on that end and then push this down like I've been doing the whole time, it gives you just a little bit extra to get that snap ring to set inside that sleeve on the freaking pinion shaft. So get some help, really thoroughly read these instructions, and then you probably won't be doing this as long as I have, because I'm not kidding. It's been about every bit of 3 hours me sitting here doing this. So finally got it. I got the sleeve, got that. As you can see, that snap ring is inside the sleeve. That's what we were fighting this whole time. So this thing is ready to go. That has the gear now for the Chevrolet flex plate. There's that. I'm running out of freaking daylight, so I may get to these tomorrow, but it'll be a second for you, and I don't know how long for me, but get these done and I'll pick up then. See you guys then. I got that starter sorted, as I told you. I've kind of got that thing mounted up in there. Only one bolt's holding it. I have to put the bottom bolt on, so I need to get some real estate. Those of you eagle-eyed viewers out there may notice that I have pulled this motor back out. And I started looking at this, kind of messing around with it, and I'm like, Aaron and I had this thing kind of nestled back off in there, tucked so tight, but I mean, we're no matter what, we're working with miles of real estate up here. So I was like, I wonder, just to make life easier for doing motor mounts, if I can slide this back up, kind of get it somewhere in the ballpark of where it's at right now. So I loosened up the transmission cross member bolts, and then I pulled it up and like lifted up the motor with the hoist and then kind of brought it forward. So I'm gonna see where that gets us. And if I can get this motor to kind of sit somewhere in this vicinity, in my opinion, I think that's gonna be the best bet. Then I don't have to shorten the drive shaft like I previously thought. And all of that's just gonna be back where it lived. And there's real estate to connect there between the plate and the truck. I'm messing with that. I'm gonna get that starter officially bolted up in there all the way done, and then see where we're at, and I'll show you guys what I've come up with once I get there. But nonetheless, see you guys in a second. What you got there?
Motor mount, kind of, ish.
So look who has showed up for some assistance.
Mario.
Dang, man, really showing the guns in the camera. Please stop. That's you gotta pay extra for that on the OnlyFans. Put link right here. All right, so from where I left off before, I was gonna touch base with you guys and show y'all, like, kind of, obviously, you just got these laid in here, and that's not necessarily saying that's exactly what we're going with, but now y'all kind of see more or less that's kind of what we're going with. So, as you guys can see, we brought out the old angle finder. We messed with the drive shaft. Fun fact, we did see that, or find out that these motors, apparently from the factory, are kind of offset in the engine bay. And the only reasoning that we're coming up with from the internet, and then Aaron got down there, put the drive line in, and what we're seeing is that this thing is kicked over to the passenger side, looking at it from this angle here. So the drive shaft itself underneath the truck will go just past the original factory mounted fuel tank and the location for that. Best we can come up with. So with all that being said, this thing is actually not exactly centered. We're off, what'd you say, Aaron, about an inch or so?
About an inch, yeah.
An inch just to the passenger side. So those of you who may be trying to do this may run into that same problem, and that could be why. With all that being said, we've done as much digging and shuffling and back and forth as we can. This is the best we got. The biggest thing is the transmission is hooked up to the motor, as you guys see, and then the transmission on the backside is hooked up to the cross member where it used to be in its original factory location, and the drive line is in. So like I said, all that is square. So we're kind of building the motor from that position. That being said, this motor is sitting at a, what was the degree?
7.9 degrees.
7.9 degrees tilt, or that's what we're calling it. I don't know the scientific term.
I'm no scientist.
No, clearly.
But it's sitting at that degree there. Doing a lot of Google researching. From what we can see, these can run continuously at about 15. We're getting numbers like 15 degrees all the way up to 25 degrees, but nonetheless, we're nowhere near any of that. So we're gonna, I think, go ahead and stab this here. What do you think?
I think that's what we're gonna do. We'll just go ahead and tack in some mounts, figure out some geometries, do some math, and see what we can.
Which, on that mount real quick, if you'll show that to the camera, I don't think I touched base with you guys, but this is a LS, just generic motor mount off Amazon.
Yep.
That Aaron sent me a link to, and then we just cut, there used to be a plate here, we cut off, and if I can remember, I'll put the link to these in the description. But yeah, all we did was just, so far, just hack that off, and then I just, or deburred the edges there. And so, I don't know if this is the final deal that we're gonna go with. We're gonna play with that a bit more, but as you can see, Aaron's just got that precariously laid in there, and I think we're gonna go ahead and get to fabbing some stuff up, so.
Yep, let's do that.
Listo, manisto. What you got there, man?
Exhaust manifold that's in a slightly different orientation than that one.
That's a middle exhaust, and that will be a front exhaust. I think I've told you guys this before. So Aaron is in the process of pulling the old one off and putting the new one in. We got the new gaskets, so straight from Amazon. But no, let's look at that motor sitting in there. Let's see if we get some light going, brother.
Get some light up in there.
So, yes, it does look like the oil pan is sitting on that cross member. It is not. We've got just ever so much of a gap in there. I doubt y'all can see that. But very, very, very small gap. We're going to run that for a little bit and see how it does. Worst case, we can always make alterations later, but we'll see. But yes, the motor is sitting in there under its own weight. Motor mounts are in. If you can see that. Left side mount, right side mount. And now we're just tinkering. So had some parts and Aaron's like, hey, let's just throw that new exhaust manifold on there. So old one's off, new one's on, snap into that being done. So new gaskets, the new exhaust with the front facing, like I was telling you guys in the beginning of this video, and then just a bit ago, that is installed. And as you can clearly see, we went ahead and changed out this valve cover as well. The reason being is not because of the color, it's because of this option right here. The other valve cover did not have this oil cap. So, which this thing is, that's a whole nother story. The threads aren't cut very well, so it's kind of tricky, if I'm being completely honest. But that has been installed, new gasket. We tighten everything down, same thing, new gasket, this is installed. So the only thing left as far as this kind of stuff goes is I do have that new intake. It's right over here. Don't mind this very expensive parts holder, but here is this, and the reason I'm swapping the intake out is because this would be at the back of the motor, firewall side of the truck, and the intake side, the actual pull side, would be right here, which would be at the front of the motor, which is 180 from what this is right here. So there was a grid heater there, and as you see, the port is again at the firewall. That one is going to be at the front. Not part of this video, but something I'm going to do, and it should be done by the time I pick back up on this unit. But nonetheless, as you guys saw, motor mounts are in. That is done. That is done. Only thing left to do that I can do right now is just the intake, which I will do here in a little bit. We still got to put the front clip back on, figure out the radiator, the oil lines, and all that stuff. So more to come. But as far as this video goes, huge shout out to the Great Redbeard on Instagram. Go check him out. Otherwise, AKA Mr. Aaron Rector and his family, for all the help that they've helped with thus far, as far as installing the motor and stuff like that on this project. Big help. Thank you so much.
Thank you, friend. That really means a lot to me.
Anyway, those of you who made it this far, I greatly appreciate it, and look forward to hopefully seeing you on the next one. If you haven't already, consider subscribing, because we got something else brewing up here soon too. But anyway, see you guys on the next one.